Hi guys, welcome to my channel Happy High Tarot. In today's picker card reading, we will find out what is your life purpose. So you can see an image on your screen right now. You've got 3 options to choose from. Feel free to pause the video over here, meditate on all your options, pick whichever one calls out to you the most. You'll find the timestamps in the pinned comment and the description box. So make your choice and let's get started. Hello group 1, if you guys chose the first image, let's find out what is your life purpose. So the cards that came out for you guys are protection, creation, which says soul expression, something new, medical staff, which says healing, and from your tarot cards we've got Page of Pentacles, King of Cups, and we also have the Queen of Wands, which I will put right here. Okay, so one interesting thing to note is that we have a page, a king, and a queen. So I do feel like one of your life purposes or essential theme in your life purpose might revolve around a family unit, like the concept of a family. Which is why you will always find this happening in your home or in your friend circle, that people find it really easy to open up to you. People find it very easy to share whatever it is that they're going through with you. You most definitely have a quality of healing in you as well. Now, for some of you, of course, it can be very literal that you study medicine or you study some sort of alternative medicine maybe and then get into that particular line. But otherwise, it can simply be the fact that you have natural healing abilities, which is why people feel better after they've spent time with you. People feel better after they've spoken to you, after they've discussed their problems with you. With the energy of protection being present over here as well, I feel like I'm hearing shock absorber. And you might be that for people. Okay, so a little insert. I've been watching this K-drama on Netflix called Wonderfools, and one of the people over there has this quality wherein he can absorb and deflect negative energy and thereby protecting everyone who's around him. And I feel like you too have that quality in you, group 1, wherein you can deflect negative energy, and as long as you are in a particular surrounding or as long as you are connected with these people, no harm can fall on them, because you are the goalkeeper. Then you're the goalie, so you prevent that from happening. And so that is coming out as another role of yours over here. Something about leading people is also coming through, and this is again where it gets interesting. We have the Queen of Wands and we have the King of Cups. Even when you are leading somebody, or even when you're telling them what they should or shouldn't be doing, even if you're handing out a to-do list like this to someone else, someone who's just started, someone who's younger than you, a sibling perhaps, or whoever else they might be, your way of communicating is very sweet. All right, not even for a second will the person whom you're speaking with feel like you are correcting them, or that you are pointing out faults, or that you're being very nitpicky. They'll always see you as a mentor. They'll always see you as someone who wishes the best for them, which is why she's telling them what they should or shouldn't be doing. With the energy of soul expression and something new, I feel, group 1, that whether it is your life purpose or whether it is whatever it is that you do for a living, and maybe a lot of you have made a profession out of your life purpose, it's something that nobody else in your family has ever done. And perhaps whatever this thing is in itself was a very novel concept for your family. So for instance, let's say healing, or let's say you wanted to become a doctor. Perhaps nobody else in your family is a doctor. Nobody in your family was really interested in this field, and so you're the first doctor in your family, right? So something like that. With the energy of to-do being the page over here actually, and the King of Cups, group 1, you have this quality wherein even if a person is not able to communicate to you very well what their issue is, what their problem is, you still manage to understand. All right, like you will put the pieces together. You will be able to connect the dots, even if they are not able to give you too much clarity from their end. So it's like they come to you with this jumbled up yarn or something, and then you knit a beautiful sweater for them out of it, something like that. You have, or you are actually a protector, a healer, a guide. And the best part about you, group 1, is that you enjoy the process. You enjoy the process of helping others. You enjoy the process of guiding others. You enjoy the process of, taking a stand for others. And that is what makes you very, very special. Like I said, again, you don't have to be a literal doctor in order to heal people. By simply being who you are, how you show up in the world, how you interact with people, how you make them feel. And that's why I said your presence in itself is very soothing. Your presence in itself is very, very comforting. Okay, let's take a look at more cards for you. So we have children, which says your life purpose involves helping, teaching, and healing children. We've got speaker, which says your life purpose involves your skills of oration. Nutrition, which says you conduct healing work with your culinary skills. And we have books, which says you connect to your life purpose through your involvement with books. Honestly, with children and books both being present over here, it can simply be you. Like if you want to become a children's book author, you can very well go ahead and do that as well. Teaching is coming up over here very strongly. Whether you teach full-time or whether you take tuitions, part-time, something like that. Since we did have the energy of healing and now we have the energy of nutrition, think of how a warm meal can instantly comfort you, whether you're sick or, especially if you're sick or otherwise also. So in case this is something that interests you, if you like to cook or if you have this talent, then most definitely getting into this field and making your way through people's hearts, through their gut, because of the food that you're cooking, that can very well be a part of your life purpose. Books over here does not, of course, necessarily mean that you have to author books. It can also be donating books. It can be making sure that underprivileged children around you have access to quality education, they have access to books. So whether you can donate books, buy books for them, buy school supplies for them, things like that, they all get covered. And especially because we have the energy of children over here as well. Maybe you can volunteer in an NGO that works towards the benefit of children. You can volunteer in a children's hospital. Maybe you can volunteer at an orphanage or help them out with resources, with your time, money, things like that. Plus, like I was telling you, there's something about how you communicate to people or how you understand what it is that they have to say. Yeah. Okay, so my ear starts ringing sometimes when I'm channeling and my nose gets itchy. Maybe it's something that happens with somebody here in group 1 as well. And more specifically, because maybe speaking is something that you have been debating, but you're not sure whether you should take it up full time or not. Now, so in your case, as a life purpose, this can of course be starting your own podcast. This can be becoming a coach. And then of course, if you are a coach, like a life coach, then you will be required to speak to people one-on-one, conduct your classes, you're holding workshops, you're holding seminars, so things like that. I also feel, and I'm not surprised to see why children is such a prominent theme over here, both in this card and then of course right over here with healing, this joyful energy over here of creation, and then the page. No matter how old you are, group 1, or no matter how serious you appear to be, you can connect with children at their level. They find it very easy to open up to you. It's like you become one with them very quickly. You become friends with them very quickly. They stop seeing you as an adult, they start seeing you as someone whom they can confide in, someone whom they feel safe around, someone whom they can be vulnerable with. and that is a precious quality which you have. So yes, the central theme over here is children, but otherwise, of course, all the other things that I mentioned are a part of your life purpose as well. So these are all the messages that I have for you right now, Group 1. I hope this reading helped you. I will see you next time. Bye. Hello Group 2, welcome to your reading. So let's find out first, using your oracles and your tarot cards, what is your life purpose, and then we'll take a look at some more messages for you as well. So the cards that came out for you, Group 2, are stillness. Alright, then we have elementals, which says nature spirits, the 4 elements. We've got feather, which says messages. From your tarot cards, we have the Hanged Man, Page of Swords, and we have the Ace of Cups. Alright. One of your life purposes that I see over here, or rather a quality that you possess which you can incorporate in your life purpose, is your ability of helping people to get out of a situation. And I don't necessarily mean tricky situations or any mess that they're caught up in. More like a funk, more like a stagnated situation where they're not feeling really good about themselves. They are feeling hopeless, they are feeling lost, they are feeling directionless. They know that they want their life to change, but they don't necessarily know how to go about it. They're not feeling motivated enough. And that is where you come into the picture. First of all, with the energy of stillness being present over here, you're not the kind of person who will immediately start amping them up. That no, get out of your bed, this is no way to be, you've just been bed rotting the whole day. You will never say things like that. And the reason behind it is, with the energy of the Ace of Cups over here, you are full, like up to the brim, with compassion, with empathy, with sensitivity. You know better than to say things like that to someone when they're already going through something. Instead, with stillness over here, you're the kind of person who will sit with them. You will share comfortable silences with them. You will not keep on poking someone. You will not keep on nudging someone. You will not keep on ordering someone around. However, you have your own ways. Page of Swords over here with the Ace of Cups tells me that you are a creative person and you have your own way of telling someone what it is that you want, what it is that you want them to do, what it is that you want from them. But the way you communicate it is subtle, it is smart, it is soft, like it lands in a soft manner, so they don't feel like they're being ordered around. Now, this does not mean that you're making a fool out of them or that you're conning them in any way. It simply means that you are smart enough to know that when someone is in that head space, when someone is in that heart space, how should I be talking to them? You're alert like that, you're sharp like that. The interesting thing also, the good thing over here actually, with the energy of messages and the Ace of Cups, is that you've always managed to put your point across. When all else fails, people turn to you, like, oh, we tried talking to him, he wouldn't listen to us, now can you try talking to him, can you try talking to her? Because you always manage to get through a person. With the energy of nature spirits being present over here, I do feel like environmentalism might be a part of your life purpose. Speaking up for those who cannot speak for themselves, plants, animals. Maybe this is something which you have been very passionate about even when you were growing up. So perhaps you were the kind of person who would really care not just for your pets, but the pets of your neighbors, any stray animals on the streets. Your heart would always go out to them. It still does, perhaps. You'd never let anybody pluck flowers, and especially not when you were around. Perhaps you grew up with a grandparent who was really into gardening, or your parents were really into gardening, or you grew up with animal lovers. So you've really seen all of that. It's because for a lot of you, what I'm hearing is that your compassion and your kindness is inherited. A lot of people in your family are like that, which is why also it comes so easily to you. With the energy of messages over here and stillness, I feel like you have this quality in you, Group 2, where simply by holding eye contact with a person, you can tell them, or you can make sure they understand what it is that you're trying to say. There is that, you have very expressive eyes, perhaps. With the energy of the Ace of Cups over here and stillness, you have an ability wherein you can move people. You can move people through your words. You can move people through the emotions that you ignite in them. If I go back to my example of someone not feeling that good about themselves and they're just sitting in their bed the whole day, they're not feeling good, they're not feeling motivated at all, you'll visit them, you'll sit with them, you'll sit on their bed, you'll chit chat maybe for a minute, and then you'll just shoot one look at them. And I don't know what magic happens thereafter, but on their own, that person's like, hey, do you want to go for a walk? Let's just go for a walk around the block, or let's just go to the park or something like that. And that is the kind of effect that you have on people. In fact, messages over here is telling me, group 2, especially with the Page of Swords being present over here, things you have said to people have stayed with them. I don't know whether they come back to tell you this or not. If they haven't, I am telling you, the things you say to people stay with them. It's like they get bookmarked in their mind, and they get reminded of you. They get reminded of the advice you gave them. Maybe you come up with quotes. You don't quote people. You make your own quotes. You give your own little life lessons. You don't need any self-help guru's book for it. You're that person in a very authentic manner for a lot of people. Okay, let's take a look at your additional cards too. So we have yoga, which says your life is enhanced by yoga, stretching and exercising. Then we've got builder, which says your innate ability to build and create brings you a deep sense of accomplishment. Then we have heart's desires, which says the angels are supporting, guiding and protecting you as your dreams become a reality. And lastly, we have career change, which says you're embarking upon a career that brings you the joy and abundance you desire and deserve. So this is interesting. Heart's desires and career change together tell me, group 2, that perhaps, first of all, your heart is already leaning towards something, which perhaps amongst all the things that I've mentioned is a part of your life purpose, and maybe you're contemplating whether to take that up full time or not. In which case, with career change, I think it is very obvious that if you work in a field, or if you work towards something which is in alignment with whatever makes you happy, then it'll fetch you even more abundance and even more success than whatever it is that you're making right now, whatever it is that you're getting right now. Amongst other things that I've mentioned that can be a part of your life purpose, yoga, of course, is also coming through over here very strongly. So learning yoga yourself and then teaching yoga to others, so that just like how it enriched your life, it can enrich the lives of your students too. And builder over here, see, your ability to build and create, this does not have to be tangible things, although of course it can be. Maybe you love making crystal jewelry, or you love making something with ceramics or something, and then you can sell it, of course. Not only will it give you a deep sense of accomplishment, actually it will give you a sense of accomplishment, of course, firstly when somebody places an order, but more so when you get a feedback and you see them enjoying the product that you built, that you made. It's going to give you an immense sense of happiness. So either it can be something like that, otherwise it can also be building an organization, let's say a trust, an NGO, something like that, which you start and which caters to something that you believe in, whether it is environmentalism, whether it's got something to do with children, whether it's got something to do along the lines of being a crisis center, or something to do with counseling people. All of those energies are coming through. I'm getting one more message, and this is very specific, but it can make sense for a lot of you, especially since we have certain creative energies over here as well. If things like interior designing, remodeling, if they appeal to you, in fact, if you have been contemplating leaving your job and then starting your own studio, starting your own interior design, or your own line of garments or whatever, then that is also something that you should most definitely work on. In your case, it is extremely evident, group 2, that you can most definitely blend your profession with your life purpose. In fact, that is what you're being encouraged to do, so that it brings you more success and more happiness. Alright, so these are all the messages that I have for you right now. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hello group 3, let's find out what your life purpose is. So the cards that came out for you are focus. Then we have your eternal spirit, which says higher self, sacred intuition. We've got stars, which says divine guidance. And from your tarot cards, we've got the hermit, we have the lovers, and we have the tower. Okay, so one of the first things that's standing out over here, group 3, is that you are blessed, you are gifted with intuition. It's always bang on. You just know things, you can just sense things. Maybe you have a lot of clairsenses, clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, stuff like that. And it's nothing new. In fact, the energy of the hermit over here tells me that this is a quality of yours that has always been there. Maybe you discovered it recently, or maybe it's been a while since you discovered it, but it has only been growing. It has been growing with you as you're getting older. It's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Earlier, with the energy of the lovers being present over here, perhaps you used your abilities to only guide people or help people who are immediately around you. So your friends, your family members, anybody else whom you live with or whom you come in contact with, maybe on a daily basis, people whom you see face to face every other day. But now I feel, and especially with the energy of divine guidance being present over here, because I feel like you're getting this nudge yourself, or you have been getting this nudge for quite some time now. Maybe whenever you meditate, or just in general, maybe you get it as a download in your dreams, that it is time that others out there also benefit from your gifts. Maybe you've started your own practice, or you're contemplating starting your own practice wherein you can guide others through your gifts. So whether it is as a psychic, a tarot reader, an astrologer, maybe something else, things like Reiki, inner child healing. I'm also hearing relationship coach for some of you. Just helping others through your gifts. And here's the thing, focus over here tells me, with the energy of the tower, that you guys have been on this special journey where initially nothing made sense to you. So you are most likely the people who switched a lot of jobs, who switched a lot of degrees, switched a lot of careers, simply because you couldn't land on any one thing. You never felt that satisfaction. And the reason why you did not feel that satisfaction is because with the energy of the hermit over here, nothing surface level can satisfy you. A simple 9-to-5 job, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with a simple 9-to-5 job, but for someone like you, let's put it that way, for someone like you, it is simply not enough. You cannot go on doing the same thing every single day. It has to be different. It has to be personal for you. It's got to mean something to you and not just to whoever owns your company. And maybe with the energy of the tower being present over here, there are people around you till date who don't really support you, who don't really encourage you, and who tell you that, you're way over in your head and this is all bullshit, and what are you thinking, and how are you going to vent for yourself with something like this. But I feel that the more they discourage you, the more it acts as a catalyst. That's the funny thing. They think they're demotivating you. They end up fueling that fire all the more. You just want it more now. The thing about your intuition, and see, a lot of people can have a sixth sense. A lot of people can be intuitive like that. But do you know how to use it well? Or are you able to Help whoever's coming to you understand what it is that you're seeing. Are you able to deliver guidance in a right manner? That is what matters more. And in your case, 100% yes, you can do that. In fact, the energy of the lovers over here tells me that you're very good at communicating with people. You become friendly with them. You understand them. You make them feel seen and heard. You do not reprimand them. Your tone is never judgmental. And so when they talk to you, they feel like, oh, finally somebody who gets it, finally somebody whom I can open up to, finally someone whose advice or whose guidance I can trust. And then they start looking up to you. Then they start looking up to you for advice. They start looking at you, waiting for your counsel. If you've ever felt lost in your life, if you've ever felt directionless in your life, if you've ever felt jealous of the people around you who apparently had it all figured out from a very young age, even though you were just managing to make your way through the world, it is because this purpose of yours was waiting to be found. And now that you have, I feel like this is the path that you need to be moving towards. Perhaps a lot of you have already started with it. Perhaps a lot of you are already healers or counselors or readers or therapists, in which case, great. Let's take a look at some more messages for you, group 3. We have strength, which says everything you've experienced in your life has made you strong and courageous. Then we have writing, which says you heal, inspire, teach and entertain with the words you write. We have you're on the right path, that says keep doing what you're doing because it's working. And we have animals, which says you understand animals and communicate with them intuitively. Trust your inner guidance, as the animals are part of your life's work. So for those of you who are already healers, whether you are a coach, a therapist, a healer, a reader, great. That is exactly what you were meant to do. Maybe it took you a little longer than the others to figure out what it is that you wanted to do, but now that you have figured it out, keep going. For some of you, writing is also something that works. Actually, I'm not surprised when it says you heal, inspire, teach and entertain with your words. And although over here it says the words you write, but of course it can also be the words that you speak. And that is why they land each time you're communicating with the people who come to you, right? So your words, your communication skills, your ability to help somebody feel good about themselves or hopeful about the situation by your words is coming through very strongly. And all that talk about feeling directionless or feeling hopeless, everything, all the twists and turns and everything has led up to this point. Today you're in a position where you can guide others who are going through the same things that you have moved past. Everything that you've experienced in your life, it has made you stronger, and it has given you the wisdom to now guide other people who are going through the same things as you. And although in your cards above nothing about animals came out, but we do have it now as a message for you. Maybe a lot of you are animal lovers. Maybe a lot of you feel very strongly for their cause for animals. In which case, of course, whatever it is that you can do for animals, whether it is donating your time, your resources, in organizations which work towards animal welfare, or if you want to do something of your own for animal welfare, of course you can most definitely do that. If you want to rescue animals on the streets, you can do something like that. It's very hot these days, so if you want to, simple things like putting some water in a pot in your garden for birds, for any strays, you can do things like that. Alright, group 3, so these are all the messages that I have for you right now. I will see you next time. Bye.